Dear Professor, my name is Sung and this video demonstrates my solution for embedded SQL using a Windows Forms application and my SQL with database user table of Coursera mini project. So now I move into the technology and tools that I use. So I implemented the firm using C# in .NET with the Windows Forms library to build as a desktop application. The database is hosted on my SQL, specifically using the W8 SIT772 schema. I use Visual Studio Code as my development environment and connected to the database using my SQL.data library. So now moving into the illustration of my costing session, you can see that firstly I checked of the available data from a user table that I created on previous tasks. So now I inserted for the new records throughout the window forms that I created by Visual Studio Code using C# code. I inserted the new user ID, and after that I inserted the name and valid email address, and I input the password, country for Vietnam, and join day I input for 20th of May. So you can see that after that I click insert and it shows that the user inserted successfully. So now I need to check if it has been updated the data on my local SQL. So you can see that the value for solving all has been inserted. Now I want to check for inputting another user ID for the new record if it works successfully to double check of inputting a new record. And now I've input for David Lee name and email is David Lee, David1111@gmail.com, and then I input for password and country, and I change John date to see how it is. So it showed user inserted successfully, and now I check. So you can see that now definitely has been inserted. Okay, so now moving into the second session of checking for validation part. So I put wrongly for user ID, so it show that it's invalid, showing that validation currently working. Similarly, I put wrong format for email, so it's so that the email format is invalid. For the user to input the correct one. So now I input for the wrong month in June 8, and it show that it's invalid format for the month to show that the user needs to correct for the correct format. And so now I can insert when I fix all of those points. Now I want to check of the duplicate value. User cannot input for the similar user ID that inputted, so it's so that the duplicate entry. So you can see that this is the demonstration of how my Windows Forms work with the user ID record, and also how the validation work. So now moving into the cost explanation and highlights, you can see that this slide presents both the structure of my application and key parts of the code related to validation and embedded SQL. So the application consists of the three-man C# file. First, program.cs contains the main method, which serves as the entry points of the application. It initializes the form and launches the interface using standard Windows Form setup. Next, form1.cs contains the core functionality. It dynamically creates all UI components, handles user interaction, and performs data validation. It also manages database connectivity and inserts records into MySQL using parameterized SQL queries. Finally, form1.designer.cs includes the initialize components method, which is essential for the Windows Forms framework. While I created the UI manually in Windows1.cs, this file ensures the form initialized correctly. So you can see on the right, I highlighted key points of the code in terms of validations and highlights. So the first method using the int.tries parts to validate the user ID input. This ensures that only valid integers are accepted before proceeding with database operation. The second snippet demonstrates a symbol email format check. It ensures the email includes an @ symbol before allowing insertion. The third log shows how I use the parameterized SQL query with my SQL command. This prevents SQL injection and ensures each user input is safely passed to the database. Overall, the application uses structural exception handling to catch and display errors and enhances user experience by providing clear and real-time feedback. So in summary, the task helped me develop not only technical skill in C# and SQL, but also a deeper understanding of how user interfaces connect with databases in real-world applications. I learned the importance of input validation, safe query execution, and clear feedback to users. The process of testing both successful and unsuccessful inputs strengthened my ability to debug structural logic. And thank you for listening.